Released in 1982, Duran Duran's Rio perfectly captures the energy of the MTV era, helping break the band into the American market with a groove that bassists around the world are still trying to master today. John Taylor both wrote and recorded this masterpiece, bringing a heavy late 70s disco-funk sensibility, deeply inspired by Bernard Edwards of Chic, straight into the world of British New Wave. Technically, this line is a masterclass in fingerstyle endurance and rhythmic subdivisions. Taylor's right hand never sits still, utilizing effortless ghost notes, tight 16th note patterns, and rapid octave jumps that make the bass function almost like a second lead instrument. Ultimately, Rio stands the test of time because of its flawless balance. It is a highly demanding technical performance that never feels self-indulgent. It breathes, it dances, and it remains one of the finest examples of how funk music transformed the pop landscape of the 1980s. While John Taylor showed us that the bass could become a melodic force, our next player proved that sometimes absolute greatness comes from restraint. Another one bites the dust is arguably one of the most instantly recognizable bass riffs in human history. Released in 1980, it completely re-energized Queen's career and became a massive crossover hit in the United States, dominating both rock and R&B charts. The genius behind this groove is Queen's soft-spoken bassist, John Deacon, who both wrote the song and recorded the performance. Much like John Taylor, Deacon was heavily inspired by the bass lines of Bernard Edwards and Nile Rodgers. From a technical perspective, Deacon's playing here is a lesson in pocket, timing, and note duration. There are no flashy fills or complex chords. Instead, Deacon focuses entirely on staccato phrasing, cutting the notes short to create space. In this groove, the silence between the notes is just as important as the notes themselves. It builds a tense, infectious pocket that locks perfectly with Roger Taylor's minimalist drum beat. John Deacon understood that groove isn't about playing as many notes as possible. It's about making every single note undeniable. It's why this bass line continues to echo through stadiums 40 years later. In late 1982, the world of music changed forever with the release of Thriller. And at the heart of the album's most legendary track was a bass line so powerful it practically walks on water. Michael Jackson actually conceived the entire melody and groove of Billie Jean in his head while driving down a Los Angeles highway. But to bring that vision to life in the studio, producer Quincy Jones called upon the legendary Louis Johnson, the master of the thumb, known to the world as Thunder Thumbs. The studio sessions for this track were notoriously meticulous. Louis Johnson brought an arsenal of instruments to Westlake Studios. To find the exact sonic texture Michael wanted, Johnson recorded the bass line using almost every single bass he owned. Ultimately, the winning take wasn't his famous Music Man, but a Yamaha bass, chosen for its deep, focused, and slightly dark tone. Technically, the genius of this track lies in its layering. Louis Johnson's precise, unwavering fingerstyle performance was superimposed with an analog synthesizer bass programmed by Greg Fillinganes. This combination created a hybrid tone, a heavy, relentless pulse that drives the dark, tense atmosphere of the song. Johnson's rock-solid consistency provides the ultimate foundation. It proves that a great bass line doesn't need to overcomplicate things to alter the course of pop culture history. Some bass lines become hits. Others become an indelible part of the fabric of modern R&B and hip-hop history. Forget-Me-Nots belongs firmly in the second category. Released in 1982 by Patrice Rushen, the track features a bass line that is so fundamentally infectious it has been sampled, referenced, and covered across generations, most famously forming the backbone of Will Smith's 90s smash hit, Men in Black. The man responsible for this legendary groove is the great Freddie Washington, who both co-wrote the music and recorded the original bass track. Technically, Forget-Me-Nots is a clinic in slap bass refinement and syncopated thumb work. Washington's execution is incredibly clean. He utilizes a percussive slapping and popping technique, but he anchors it with deep dynamic control. Notice how he accents the upbeats, pulling the listener into the rhythm. His muted notes give the bass line a vocal-like phrasing, allowing the groove to breathe naturally without ever sounding cluttered. Freddie Washington created a bass line that feels completely effortless while remaining metronomically precise. It is pure musicality from the first note to the last. By 1983, the sonic landscape of the 80s was shifting rapidly. Electronic instruments were stepping into the spotlight, challenging the traditional role of the bass guitar. And with Ain't Nobody, Rufus and Chaka Khan delivered a masterclass in the art of electronic bass synthesis. While many listeners often mistake this heavy, rolling groove for a physical bass guitar, it was actually envisioned, written, and recorded by the band's keyboardist, David Hawk Walensky. He meticulously crafted and recorded the line using an analog Oberheim OBXA synthesizer connected to a Roland DSX sequencer. From a technical and structural standpoint, what makes this synth bass line brilliant is that Walensky didn't approach it like a keyboardist trying to show off speed. He approached it like a world-class session bassist. The line is defined by its pristine programming, deep sub-frequencies, and impeccable melodic spacing. Listen to how the low end tightly hugs the electronic drum track. The phrasing is punchy, cravat, and provides a massive velvety harmonic cushion that allows Chaka Khan's soaring vocals to take flight. Ain't Nobody proved to the world that whether a groove comes from the calloused fingers of a master musician or the circuitry of an analog synthesizer, it's the human soul behind the arrangement that makes it timeless. No conversation about legendary 80s bass lines could ever be complete without mentioning the man who brought an entirely new level of elegance and sophistication to the instrument, Marcus Miller. In 1981, a young Marcus Miller stepped into the studio to record the title track for Luther Vandross's debut solo album, Never Too Much. What followed was a performance that would become a rite of passage for bass players worldwide. Marcus Miller both arranged the bass framework and recorded the track. His style perfectly complemented Vandross's smooth vocal delivery. Technically, this performance is an extraordinary display of fingerstyle funk, micro-timing, and pocket placement. Miller positions his notes just slightly on the back of the beat, giving the entire song an incredibly relaxed, swaying feel. His choice of fills is immaculate. He uses brief melodic scalar runs and subtle ghost notes that decorate the track without ever stepping on the vocals. What separates Marcus Miller from his peers is his ability to make highly sophisticated harmonic choices sound entirely natural and accessible. The bass line literally dances beneath the arrangement, serving as the heartbeat of one of the greatest R&B tracks ever laid to tape. As the mid-1980s arrived, a British musician named Mark King was busy turning the bass world upside down, proving that the instrument could easily front a chart-topping pop band. Released in 1986, Lessons in Love became Level 42's biggest international hit, reaching the top of the charts across Europe. The song is a staggering showcase for Mark King's signature, lightning-fast style. King both wrote the track and recorded the mind-bending bass line. Technically, Mark King's playing is defined by his revolutionary slap-and-pop technique. He uses his thumb almost like a drumstick, executing rapid-fire 16th-note machine gun grooves with astonishing percussive articulation. His left-hand fretting technique is just as active, using hammer-ons and pull-offs to maintain a continuous wall of rhythm. But what is most impressive about Lessons in Love is that despite the staggering speed and technical complexity, the bass never feels like a hollow exercise in speed. It provides both the rhythmic drive and the underlying harmonic structure of the pop song. Mark King seamlessly integrated high-level fusion technique into a mainstream pop arrangement, cementing his place as an absolute titan of the decade. Phil Collins was producing a solo album for Earth, Wind and Fire's Philip Bailey. Looking for a massive up-tempo hit to complete the record, Collins, Bailey, and legendary session bassist Nathan East gathered in the studio to jam. Within hours, Easy Lover was born. Nathan East didn't just record the definitive studio performance, he is an official co-writer of the song. Technically, East's performance on Easy Lover is a clinic in studio perfection. He recorded the track using a 4-string Yamaha BB 3000 bass, creating a brilliant bridge between heavy rock dynamics and funk-fueled grooves. The line is characterized by its driving, relentless root note pulse that locks seamlessly with Phil Collins's iconic gated reverb drum style. Pay close attention to East's upper register fills during the chorus transitions. They are incredibly tasteful, melodic, and executed with smooth articulation that glues the guitar riffs and vocal harmonies together. Nathan East understood exactly how to project power while leaving enough sonic space for the arrangement to breathe. It is session bass playing at its absolute zenith. Our next track is definitive proof that great bass playing doesn't have to be flashy or fast to leave an unforgettable emotional imprint on the listener. Kate Bush's 1985 masterpiece, Running Up That Hill, experienced a massive global resurgence recently, introducing a whole new generation to its haunting brilliance. The heavy atmospheric anchor of this track was recorded by Del Palmer, Kate Bush's longtime bassist, audio engineer, and close collaborator. Technically, Del Palmer's contribution to this song is an exercise in minimalism, tone selection, and extreme dynamic control. The bass line doesn't rely on complex runs or percussive slapping. Instead, Palmer uses long, sustained, fretless-like tones that mimic the shifting emotional weight of the lyrics. He masterfully navigates the spaces around the tribal, Lindrum beat, letting the notes swell and decay naturally. The bass functions almost like an extension of the synthesizer arrangements, adding a grounded, dark warmth to the track. Del Palmer understood that serving the mood and the vision of the songwriter is the ultimate responsibility of a great musician. We close our journey through the 80s with a song that boasts one of the most sophisticated yet deceptively simple pop grooves ever recorded. Released in 1985, Tears for Fears, Everybody Wants to Rule the World is a timeless anthem. The driving force behind its breezy, cinematic forward momentum is the band's co-founder, lead vocalist, and bassist Kurt Smith, who both wrote and recorded this iconic line. Technically, the song is built around a distinct driving shuffle beat. Smith's bass line gracefully weaves through this rhythm using syncopated eighth-note patterns that bounce off the drums. What makes his playing stand out is his melodic phrasing. He He utilizes subtle chord extensions and steps up into the higher register during the transitions, giving the track a rich, soaring harmonic depth. It is one of those classic bass lines that sounds effortlessly easy until you sit down with an instrument and try to replicate its precise pocket and feel perfectly. Every note Curt Smith plays contributes directly to the dreamy, nostalgic, and everlasting atmosphere of the track. There is a reason we are still talking about, analyzing, and listening to these bass lines more than 40 years after they were captured on tape. Great bass playing never goes out of style. Technology changes, recording techniques evolve, musical trends come and go. But a great groove is entirely timeless. Whether it was John Taylor blending pop with funk, Marcus Miller redefining R&B elegance, or Hawk Walensky pushing the boundaries of analog synthesizers, each of these players understood the ultimate rule of music. It's not about how many notes you can play, it's about making every single note matter. Which of these 80s bass lines is your absolute favorite? And which iconic groove did we miss that deserves a spot in Part 2? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a deep dive into the rhythms that shape our world. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. See you in the next video.